I'm the Distance Education Coordinator at Columbia College. And what I'd like to do is help you get started in the best possible way for your online course development class. I affectionately call OCD. Now, I'm going to take you from the top, so that means that I'm going to take you from the beginning where it all gets started, and that's at the Go Columbia homepage. Now, I want to show you a very easy way to log in and get started with your class. Once we're inside the class, I'll talk a little bit more about the particulars. First of all, go to the Columbia College homepage and you can select faculty and staff and or students to log in. But I want to show you something else before we get started. Under courses and programs, we have online learning. Now that is a page where there's quite a bit of information for you as a student and those of you who are faculty that are taking these courses with me. So for example, just take a look at some of the links and also some of the specific resources if you're a student or if you're a faculty. Now I want you to notice right here is the Blackboard login. So I'm going to click on that right now. And it's going to take you to the Blackboard login page. Also, we have some of the same links on the very right hand side. Now, to log into your class for the first time, if you are a student, you're going to use your W number and your 6-digit birth date. If you're an instructor, like I am, you are going to be using your last name first initial, and if you've never logged into Blackboard before, you are going to be using your 6-digit birth date as well. Now for me, this is a little different because I've actually changed my password once I got in. So there we go. I'm going to be able to log in. Again, if you forget how to log in, here is the information if you're a student. Very different than if you're an instructor. Okay, I'm going to click on Login and we'll get started. Before we enter the class, I just want to go over what you are actually seeing. You have logged into Blackboard and you are on the entry page for Blackboard. So this is more like a dashboard and there's a lot of modules, so you can check some of the modules out. If you were taking other classes, you might see some announcements and messages. Those are the course messages within Blackboard. You would see tasks. You can also have your own tools that you use, such as the calendar, and this is all dependent also as what the instructors use. If your instructor doesn't use My Messages, then you might not see unread messages. So this is something that you'll be able to think about and consider as you develop your own course. And at the top here, we call this the Open Global Navigation menu, and I will be asking each and every one of you to upload an image in this. And there are instructions. That's one of the first things that you do in the Getting Started Learning module. All right, I'm going to enter the class right now, and I'm going to click on the link. You'll notice that there's links over to the right-hand side of the courses that you're in, and also just to get you a little bit more familiar with how this class operates, you will probably see a dev shell by the time that you get this and you enter your course. So I want to talk a little bit about that. You will be a student in this course and you will also have a developmental shell. So you'll be working and actually getting involved in some learning experiences and some activities as a student, and then you'll go over to your developmental shell and you will be developing that content and those activities for your class. So it's pretty exciting and it's a very creative process. So again, this right now you're on the announcement page. The point of entry for this class may change, so this is something I want you to get familiar with. When you enter for the first time, you may be on what we call the dashboard. So basically, point of entry, it'll give you some directions on where and how to get started. Now, I want you to notice that over on the left-hand side is a full menu of items. And the first thing here that jumps out at you, hopefully, is to start here first. This is where I want you to get started. This is what we consider a learning module. It's self-contained. Everything you need from start to finish will be within that learning module. If you need a resource or a tutorial to complete an assignment or activity, it should be there. I want you to think about that because that's the same concept that you're going to be building when you're in your developmental shell creating content. You're going to want to develop based on a learning module. This happens to be the Blackboard learning module style, so we have a table of contents on the left and we have a different page as we navigate through each item. Notice that if you click on the navigational arrows, it'll take you through each page. And this is more of the start here first type of activities, and you can also jump through each item here non-sequentially. So if you wanted to finish up later, you didn't get through all 22 pages in one setting, which is fine. That's the beauty of online learning and teaching, is that you can be very flexible with your schedule. Then you could actually come back to where you left off. Now this particular learning module is run concurrent with week 1. So there are some practice activities, and you're going to be developing these practice activities in your developmental shell. What we found is if we can give students some very early on experiences or a safety net activity for them to be familiar with the online learning environment and some of the common tools and activities, they'll be better off throughout the course. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm giving you some activities to get started with. They're very simple, but it will give you an idea of what's to come in the upcoming learning modules. Okay, so this again is run concurrently with week 1. So this will take you straight to week 1 if you launch here, or you can come over here to the weekly modules and then you can go to week 1. So that's why I like to get you started early. Your course will be open 5 days before the start date. That's just typical of all Blackboard online classes at this point. 5 days before the class starts, the Blackboard shell is open to students. Now that doesn't mean that every instructor can, put out things. They might just put out the syllabus and a few things. I like to give you a little bit of a head start. So again, concurrently with the Start Here First learning module with some activities, you will also be going through a week 1. And everything that you need to actually participate in an activity and complete it will be here for you, including tutorials and links and resources. Now, I never penalize if you submit something and then do redos or repeat the activity or try again. I am a stickler about late activities, but if you try to do some of these activities within the date and then I just send you some feedback and I say, okay, well, this is what needs to be completed, or here's how you could submit it again, then you're fine, because this class is about development and process, and you're going to be learning a lot. And at some point, you're going to realize that not only are you learning the content, but you're also learning about instructional technology. So it may take some time for you to familiarize yourself with the Blackboard environment, some new technologies and tools that you're going to be learning. Speaking of tools, I have a host of communication tools for you to explore and also for us to keep in contact with. I will be holding virtual sessions every week, and if you cannot make those virtual live sessions, they will be recorded. And also, you will have tutorials that you can play over and over again to see how to complete each activity. I do like to do the virtual sessions for 2 reasons. One, I want to have you experience a virtual training session because you might want to use the tool yourself. And second, I really like to answer some live questions and have you there to see exactly what we're doing for that week. So it really has a twofold purpose to it. Then I have lots of different resources for you to explore, and I will direct you to those resources as they are needed. In conclusion, I just want to say this. I'm really excited about having you in this class, and I have provided different strategies and guidelines for success. They're right on top of the learning modules, so take some time, read through this, make sure you understand what we're trying to achieve here, and have fun with it. Communicate with me regularly so we can make sure that you have everything that you need. So again, thank you, and I appreciate your time and attention.